Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and get the show started. How I like to get it started. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. We're happy to be here with you.
Excellent. So, guys, I have the Georgia Freedom Initiative Vice President and President with me tonight, Ashley Scott and Renee Walters. So the way I like to do it is I want to give you your flowers. So that's basically a way for me just to tell you why I like and love what you guys are doing. So I just want you to sit back and relax and let me give you your flowers. Are you okay with that?
Yes. Who wouldn't be?
All right. Well, here we go, baby. All right. So you know what? As soon as I heard about this story, I wanted to talk to you too. It's just remarkable. I think it's an idea that a lot of us Black people have had, or just going through the struggles of being Black in the United States or wherever you are in the world. Sometimes you just want to escape. I can't tell you how many friends I heard say, I just want to go to an island and be by myself with my people. So the fact that you guys were able to get together, what you guys are doing is remarkable. And I know a lot of people, including myself, we tip our hats off to you. And the fact that you two are two strong Black women, I'm just so honored to be speaking with you today. So I just want to thank you guys for just appreciating your Black culture, your Black history, your ancestors, and yourselves enough to be dedicated to try to start something that can really help bring generational wealth to our community. So thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Well, I want to start off with this year before we jump right into the project because, I'm originally from Macon, Georgia, Mactown, if anybody don't know. And the property that you guys own is in Wilkerson County. And growing up, I was on the basketball team. I was a forward center. And one of my favorite memories is always playing against Wilkerson County. It was our rival in school at Jones County High School in Gray, Georgia. And so that's a fun memory for me. And I got a lot of family down that way where you guys are from, or up that way, I should say. So I just want to say that little spiel. But this year, a lot of things, happened, not just COVID. I just want to know how you guys were touched or affected by the murders of Ahmaud Arbery in South Georgia and Breonna Taylor in Kentucky, and in Minnesota, George Floyd's murders and deaths. How did that affect you guys this year?
I mean, it deeply affected me. I know on a personal level. Renee, what would you say?
I would say the same thing. Being that we both are married to Black men, it kind of give you a sense of anxiety when they leave the house. Like, are they gonna come home, or when they get pulled, if they get pulled over, like how will it end? So that was just something that was always on my mind. And being a Black woman as well, being Black in America is just hard. So that played a big part in the reason why we sought out to do something for ourselves and create something for ourselves.
Absolutely. Like, people would always say stuff that's just dumb. Like, did you know Ahmaud Arbery? Did you know this person? It's like, you don't have to know these people to be deeply impacted by the fact that we lost a human life, by the fact that something as simple as a $20 bill could cost somebody their human life. And so for me, it really lit a fire under me to say, okay, what can I do? And especially in a situation where you felt like there was nothing you could do. Because I felt very disempowered for a season. I felt as if, there is no way to change a system of oppression. You know what I mean? Like, how do you go back and fix something that's so deeply rooted in a doctrine that we as Black folks were not humane, we were property? That is the foundation of our daggone Constitution when they wrote the 3/5 compromise. So to really think about contending with a structure as large as the United States government, because that's who you're dealing with. At the end of the day, it's federal laws that need to get passed. It's state laws that got to get passed. it's so many things that have to happen. And it's like, how do you navigate all that and think that you can make change, especially when you've seen so many people protesting in the streets, doing so much work for so long, and it hasn't been any change, particularly when you have to feel like, oh, it's in somebody else's hands. So for me, it was like, okay, I felt disempowered. And I went and I got a therapist, a Black therapist, who was like, girl, it's a systemic oppression out here, you know, and to have somebody to tell you you're not crazy for thinking about leaving the country. You know what I mean? There's have somebody tell you that, you know, you have something, like even when you don't have nothing that look like you can do something, there's always something you can do. And so having that person working through that with me and understand like, okay, I'm dealing with a little depression, and it's real because racial trauma, that was trauma to watch that man get strangled for 8 minutes and they play it over and over again, to watch Breonna Taylor not get justice. Those are traumatic experiences. And so we have to really create spaces for our healing. And therapy was a space for my healing. And it helped me to be able to say, how do I get my power back? And so this year was a year of really figuring out, how do you still create a place or a space of energy of, you know, love, of gratitude, of joy, of still moving forward and progressing, even when there were so many challenges all around us.
Now, one of you guys is a realtor, the other one, it says you're an investor. And I know you said it's always some people out there that's like-minded like you that you can actually build with. I want to backtrack a little bit, and I want you both to introduce yourselves and kind of tell me how y'all got together.
Well, I'm Ashley Scott. I'm the realtor.
I'm Renee Walters. I'm the president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. We actually met 6 years ago at our church.
Wow, okay.
And we hit it off after we had our special, you know, everybody got a special moment, you know, when it's like, you know what? I like you.
Yes, yes.
And so we had our little special moment. We've been inseparable. Like, that's the homie, you know, like I can count on this young lady, and we know that we both have integrity and good character. And those are the people that you want to build things with, people who have tenacity and the ability to overcome obstacles. That's who this young lady is. So being in a partnership with her is awesome.
So how did this idea start? Like, who had the conversation first? Who came to who?
Well, this was something that Ashley has been talking about like forever, since I've met her. And I guess it kind of rubbed off on me. And I have like this group of friends, like my husband's best friends, that we all hang around. And I was telling them like, yo, it would be so dope if we had like our own like city. And they like, how? I was like, well, I gotta introduce y'all to my homegirl Ashley. She knows everything about building your own. And once we link up, the rest gonna be history.
And it took some time. She has been saying it for a long time.
And this was like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And then like after everything came about with the protesting and pandemic and everything, a post went viral about Toomsboro, a town being on sale for $1.7 million. And so Ashley and I was talking. I was at her house and we were just talking about how we just didn't feel motivated to do much. And we both like are serial entrepreneurs, and we both was just in a funk. So after we was talking, like later on that day, I went home and I was just scrolling through social media, and I happened to see that post. And so I sent it to her. The next morning we talking about just our day, and we never spoke about the post. And so I'm like, Ashley, did you not see the whole town on sale? And so when she went back and saw it, she was like, well, let's run it. And so we saw that they had an open house coming up. And so we went to the open house. We saw a lot of investors, a lot of Black realtors, a lot of Black investors that was there to see the town. So we knew somebody was going to buy it. If we didn't buy it, we knew that something was going to come about. But Ashley, being the amazing realtor that she is, she sought out other parcels. Like, we didn't come all the way down here for nothing. It was like 2.5 hours. So we drove around to different areas of vacant land. And this last piece of land we went to, like once we stepped out on the ground, it was it. Like it was like a moment. Chills came over us. We just looked at each other, started screaming like, this is it.
Yeah, it was divine. Some things are just divine timing, and being aware enough to witness that moment and that opportunity and say yes. And like to have a partner with you who's like, yes, like that's what you need in life.
Yes.
Because we're, you know, 2 or 3 are gathered. That's how you are able to make something happen. That's when God is in the midst. That's when we become the gods that are a reflection of the Most High, when we come together in that way.
So I'm imagining myself as you know, at this land looking around, and I could feel what you guys were feeling. I'm just feel like y'all were thinking of all the grand ideas, all the things you could accomplish. Is that what was going on there?
Yes, that's exactly what was going on. It was like, okay, we can make some things happen. We can farm, we can fish, we can build a community, clubhouse, farm, all of the things that you think of when you say, wow, there's a blank slate.
Yes.
Like, what? I can create whatever I want? Of course. Like, what you think of when you see a blank slate?
You know, I'm thinking of what I can do to make it better. And you know, so many of us have ideas, but the fact that you guys had the idea, you did the steps, you did the research, you went beyond. What was the next step for you guys? You saw the land. So, because I'm reading that you got 19 families involved. Just take us through the steps. So tell us what the Freedom Initiative actually is.
So the Freedom Georgia Initiative, it literally is our group of 19 friends and family who committed to building our own little intentional community around the idea of healing and wellness and creating generational wealth, because that's what we need most in our community right now, is a safe place where we can have peace, protection, and prosperity. And that's what we wanted to do for us and our family. And when we shared that message, it resonated to the point that we're like, oh, we all need this. Like,
Yes.
not just our 19 families, everybody need to get their friends and family together and start really thinking about how we create intentional community and group economics to be able to support each other instead of having all of our money constantly getting siphoned out of our community. We spend it, it's blown. Everybody talk about how much, you know, consumers, we Black folks are excellent consumers, the #1 consumer. Well, it's time to be producers. And so that's where we all agreed at, was like, we about to go out here and we gonna run it up. We gonna farm, we gonna build businesses, we gonna support one another. I'm an entrepreneur, she's an entrepreneur. Everybody in our collective are entrepreneurs, veterans. Now, they ain't all veterans, but we have mostly veterans.
Yes.
And we have people who have skill sets. And when we bet on us, we decided we was going to bet on us. And it's been an amazing journey that has inspired other people to go out and do the same. And I teach my seminar. We have other collectives and other groups who are coming together and building their own little intentional communities and buying land for their families so that they can farm and homestead, because we have to have food sovereignty. We have to have economic independence. We have to be self-sufficient and build in a way that is more sustainable. My brother in this collective said something that just was so profound. Like, this is not, what we're building is not the usual insurance plan. It's an assurance plan. It's not to just say, okay, I'm building something that, you know, my kids are going to inherit, as far as like a life insurance policy, which we need those too. But no, I know my kids are going to inherit intellect. They're going to inherit a skill set and the ability to take care of themselves and their families from generation to generation to generation, because that's our time, is to start having something that we aren't constantly starting back at zero. And we rallied behind that, and other people are feeling that too. And that's how we're able to start looking at how to create this municipal corporation, this city, this place that can be built by brilliant Black minds and with Black families in mind. And I say it all the time, like, our goal is not to be exclusively Black, but it is to be pro-Black in every way. And to be pro-Black isn't anti-white. We need to create a community where we feel safe at peace, protected, and can experience prosperity, because those are our rights as American citizens. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And that's exactly what, you know, we wanted to create. And we hope that other people will get that message.
Now, as soon as I heard about this, my first thoughts, because I know some of the history of Black people when we have tried to make towns and stores before where we could go, you know, things happen where the what's the word we call? Oh, the oppressor would come in and try to destroy our work. So the first time I saw this story, I immediately had this overwhelming sense that I wanted to protect your idea.
You and everybody else. And I get that. That is collective trauma. We have all, we know what's in the history. We know what's not in the history. So being aware of what has happened to our people over and over again does give you a sense of, let me pray for these sisters. Let me pray for our this town to succeed, because it hasn't had a history of positivity when it comes to how it ends. But what a lot of people don't know is that in 1921, after Black Wall Street got bombed, they built it again. They brought it right back up. It wasn't until 1964, when integration happened, that the disinvestment of Black communities started happening. So let's not get this twisted. We have been successful. We will be successful. And when you have challenges and adversity, you just have to have a plan in place to get over those challenges and those hurdles, because we can do it. We do it every time.
So maybe I can get Renee in here a little bit. How do you guys, and I think you kind of answered it a little bit, Ashley, but how will this differ from things we've done in the past?
Well, we'll pretty much learn from their mistakes. We'll learn, we'll do things differently. We have plans in place. We have social media. We have, I mean, the technology is different. So much is different from back then, where we can't lose.
And that, oh girl.
So good. Like, but seriously, like, so many people say like, oh, what about if they bomb you guys? You're not worried about that. Going into this, that was not a fear that I had at all. Like, I know the seriousness of what we're doing, and I know the dangers of what we're doing, but I don't walk in fear. I don't live in fear. And I've always known that God is always with us.
And buying land shouldn't be such a revolutionary act.
That you're scared to do it, or you're scared to take that step where you're in fear that somebody's going to take it from you or they'll blow it up. You can't think like that. Like, we're in a new day. It's a new time.
And we have to reclaim the land, because that's how we build. So the ability to have self-determination depends on our ability to reclaim the land, period. Because that's real wealth. That's real assets. They ain't making no more land. Actually, it's burning down.
You're right about that one.
Land, guys. We want to inspire everybody to go get land. Please, that's the best thing we can do. I think that was probably the best thing we've done this year.
That was the best thing
that we've done ever that we could do to put our family together and build generational wealth. I want to inspire everybody. It's not hard at all. We teach a great seminar showing you that it's not hard to buy land, showing you the different benefits of having land, showing you the different prices, because it's not as expensive as you may think. As you may think. And once you get a collective together of like-minded people, which was one of the easiest things we did. Now, it may be a stigma like, oh, Black people can't work together, or like, y'all don't know how to make decisions together. That was the easiest part, getting us all together, getting our friends and family to say yes, putting our money together. Like, that was the easiest part.
So where can people find out about your seminars? Because I think, like a lot of us, sometimes we're like, how can we just get this done? So how can we join those seminars that you give?
So I got a bit.ly link. Where your phone at? I'm gonna see if we can get it in the chat and go on to the live. But it's bit.ly/seminar bundle deal. So if you put bit.ly/seminar bundle deal, and we're gonna try to get it in the chat for y'all.
All right, somebody's asking a question, but I think this may go into my next question. They're trying to figure out how were you able to gather like-minded people together. But I want to kind of bounce off of that and say, I know you guys have a partnership with BAF that stands for Black Achievement Fund. It's a nonprofit. A black man, I think I say his name right, R.Kelly Hodges. It's the founder.
Yes, R.Kelly, shout out. He's actually here. R.Kelly, come here.
Oh, awesome. Yes, I want to know about that, being in partnership with the nonprofit and how they come in to help you guys.
Yes, slide on in here, bro. Come on.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Scoot over a little bit so I can see you, and we'll get her back in a minute. Hey, brother.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I want to know a little bit about your nonprofit and how you came to be that partnership and how we can help.
Okay, well, the Black Achievement Fund is a national Black economic and community development corporation with one simple mission, and that is Black economic independence for self-determination, or put plainly, money to do whatever it is that we need to economically empower ourselves and to build new communities, new towns, like Freedom, Georgia. So that's the essence of what the Black Achievement Fund is about and how we ended up partnering with the Freedom Georgia Initiative. Now, the question I know you're probably wondering is, okay, that's a very broad, ambitious goal or mission. How do you plan to achieve it? And the way we plan to do that is very simple. 10 million Black people, and there's over 50 million of us. 10 million Black people, $9 a month is 90 million a month and over $1 billion a year for us to accomplish that broad agenda, Black economic independence. So we have 12 program departments that range from grants and scholarships to health and wellness, manufacturing and transportation, banking and financial services, real estate development, health and wellness, food and agriculture, so on and so forth. All of our programs and services are free or at cost to members. And when you go on our website, if you look at programs and services, you'll get a sense of all of those things. But that's in a nutshell what the Black Achievement Fund is. And our partnership is based upon our wanting to see new Black towns like Freedom, Georgia, not only emerge here in Georgia, but all across the country. And the Black Achievement Fund's role is to utilize capital from Black people all over to help with the infrastructure of these towns, to provide the institutions that will provide the culture and stability to these towns, like the hospitals, the dental clinics, the things like that. So real briefly, I'm not gonna take no picture.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to talk to all of y'all.
So how it works is like this. We'll take the health and wellness department, for example. The Black Achievement Fund will be developing dental clinics, health clinics, and they'll all work the same way. Our model is this. Out of your membership dollars, we pay for the building. We own the building outright. Out of your membership dollars, we pay for the state-of-the-art dental equipment.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Out of our membership dollars, we pay for state-of-the-art dental equipment, all of that, the furniture and the lobby, everything. We also pay for the salaries of the dentist, the dental technician, and any support staff. So when you go into that dental office and get anything done, why would we need to charge you $1? This is the standard model for the Black Achievement Fund. Right now, we are trying to meet 1,000 founding member goal by December 31st. And already some of the things that we've been able to do is, well, we have our grants and scholarships open. So Black Achievement Fund members have access through our grants and scholarship departments to scholarships for personal, professional, educational development. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to do a career pivot and go to real estate school, you can apply for a scholarship for the real estate classes. If you want to become a better cook for your family, you can apply for a scholarship to go to a cooking class, that sort of thing. If you have a nonprofit organization, the Black Achievement Fund will provide grants for a general op to purchase a new piece of equipment, to help with fundraising goal that you may have, all of those sorts of things. And it's not the Black Achievement Fund doing it, but it's your Black brothers and sisters and our non-Black members all across the country and outside of the country who are saying Black unity is alive and well, and this is how we're manifesting it. So that's the Black Achievement Fund. So I encourage you to please join, to tell everyone else to join. Our website is www.baf.solutions, not .com, not .org, but .solutions.
Excellent. So before you, I know, don't hop out of there yet. I want to ask you, because it's very simple, about buying a brick, because I know if people want to help out, you become a member, you can buy one brick, they're $50 each. Explain that process to me a little bit.
Okay, well, we know that so many of our Black brothers and sisters and our non-Black friends want to be a part of this experience. They want to make sure that this comes into being. And one way of doing that, to have their spirit there in Freedom, Georgia, is to purchase a brick. So these bricks will line Freedom Road, which will be one of the main roads throughout Freedom, Georgia, and will also utilize these bricks for actual buildings. So the Black Achievement Fund will have some type of a building within Freedom, Georgia, and these bricks will actually be used for this building, as well as the perimeter fence for the entire town. So these bricks represent your spirit, and your spirit will be there with us in Freedom, Georgia.
And your dollars.
and it is a fundraiser, so it'll help with the infrastructure and things like that.
Excellent.
So,
and I saw it come across the screen that you guys need at least 10 million Black people to donate $9 a month to the BAF.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but we're starting programming at certain benchmarks. So right now, for example, we have less than 1,000 members, but we're already taking some of that capital and giving it back out through scholarships, through nonprofit grants.
Black business we support.
And Black businesses. So 76% of all of the money that we spend goes to Black businesses. And these Black businesses are large, small, independent contractors, freelancers, so on and so forth. So we've already spent over $17,000 with Black businesses. We have a Black business directory that we're going to be promoting heavily coming up soon, that will provide a very, very broad array of marketing for Black entrepreneurs, freelancers for $18 a month, in addition to being able to access our scholarships, our grants, and things like that. So,
well, thank you so much for that information. If there's anything else you want to say while we got you here, go ahead.
Join. We don't need any lip service. We need people who believe in Black unity to join tonight. You know, while you listen to join, all right? Yes. And be safe out there, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir, for jumping in.
Your time.
Yes.
Thank you, R.Kelly.
Thanks, Lee.
Now, how did you guys feel about the number of positive responses you received? Like, I saw a repost from the music icon Puffy and actress Viola Davis.
Oh my God.
What was that like?
That has been that's been great. I think the craziest part is like the elders that call us and email us and DM us about how proud they are. And we love that, how they just so inspired. Just that's the crazy part, to have someone way older than you just telling you like, oh my God, I'm inspired by you, and just everything you're doing is amazing.
Yeah, and we've gotten, and like, to listen to and hear some of the most, because like y'all just see what's on social media, but this is our life. So we get Zooms with people and calls from people where they like, we're proud of you. We just want you to know that we're supporting you. Like, we just are so grateful. And even like in Hollywood, like, we've gotten so many support. Like, forget the celebrities, but like Black businesses and entrepreneurs have showed up and shown out, like just being sponsors for our events and saying, how can we support you? We will come, we will help clear the land, we'll help, teach people how to fell trees, and all kinds of stuff, that people are coming on board with resources because they just want to see us win for the culture. That part is like super exciting.
a lot of people want to know, and I think he kind of touched on this a little bit, but how will you guys sustain the land? Like, what kind of, can you go deeper into, would you have more retail businesses on there, restaurants, and, you know, professional people want to live out there? How would you be able to help them maintain, how will you just maintain the land and bring in, you know, wealth?
Well, we have a plan for everyone to bring businesses to our land, restaurants. We just acquired a new piece of land. We'll be making a big press conference about that coming in the upcoming weeks. We plan to build a whole city. Everything that the city has, we'll have, but it will be focused on mental health. We want to be where you can drive, well, you don't have to drive. You can walk within 15 minutes of where you want to go, and you can pick fruit off the trees, and we'll have mental health offices and therapist offices that you can go to if you have any issues. We want to base it solely around mental health. We have people come in and say, "Oh, we want to study the brains of people that live in the community just to see how health and well-being can change the mindsets of individuals that live in that lifestyle."
The actual brain chemistry, though, like, it's so deep how we can really impact a generation with the knowledge that we can create by building an intentional community in this way. And, you know, yes, definitely it's going to be centered around mental health and wellness and well-being, because it's time for Black Americans to experience a sense of healing and well-being. And that is our right, and that is what we want to create. And by creating this type of a space, we have retirees, we have Black veterans, we have the ability to create businesses for ourselves and create jobs within those businesses. Entrepreneurship in the Black community is thriving when it comes to Black women creating new businesses, even in the pandemic. So we can create a Black utopia. It's easy for us to bring all of our skill sets and talents to a place and say we are committed to its success. We are committed to making sure that we have the best educational system, which means we have jobs for teachers. We can say we are committed to making sure that we have the best kind of work-life balance. So now we're attracting Fortune 500 companies who want to build their headquarters in freedom. That is how you create industry. That is how you create an economy that is actually supported, that is actually built around this idea of a new Black Wall Street. We don't need anybody else. We can be our own heroes. We can be our own business owners and create jobs and create wealth. And we can use the food sovereignty movement of literally farming for ourselves, keeping our own animals, treating them well. You know, all the things that we can do to live and have a kind of community that we can be proud of, and that can become a replicatable model for other people to be a success on what it's like to just be a good human. Because we can do, it's not rocket science. Like, we create a community in a space where we all enjoy success. And again, that peace, that protection, that prosperity that we all deserve, we can create it together.
Well, I hate to have to go here, but, you know, I grew up in Georgia, and it's no secret. It can be a very racist, discriminatory place. So as much positivity you've gotten, I'm sure there's been some negativity. How do you guys deal with that? Has it ever kind of stopped your process a little bit, or what's your thoughts on, you know, anybody trying to, like, you got to explain it, but when anybody may say, well, how you gonna have land for Black people? You know, that's discriminatory against others. Like, what's your thoughts on that and the negativity?
The only negativity we've gotten really came from internet trolls. People behind the keyboards, people with YouTube pages, and from the actual town, we've gotten nothing but love. A lot of people, they love us. They've been out to help us with our land. They've offered all of their services to us.
Resources. Just because at the end of the day, this county is a really just welcoming, friendly kind of place. It's full of, you know, beauty, natural resources. And when you live in a place like this, like, and people all know each other, like they all went to the same high school, same middle school, same elementary school, there's genuine unity and love in this community. And so if anything, it's more of like potential that because we're outsiders coming in, that there might be some tension. But when it comes down to it, we chose a place that we knew that we could create a community we could be proud of. We were intentional in that way. Be intentional. That's why it's called an intentional community. Do your due diligence, research, see who the people are. Who are your commissioners? Who is the city council people? Who is the chief of police? Who's the sheriff? We did our due diligence, and going into Wilkinson County, we feel like we're going to be able to make it an amazing experience for anyone who decides to relocate to this area that we're developing.
Why is Wilkinson County a good place for this to happen?
Again, it's got that kind of a population and a kind of energetic feel of family. And this is all about, for us, creating something for Black families. You know what I mean? And you can do this anywhere. It don't have to be Wilkinson County. You find a place where you do your research and you meet the neighbors and you go and you talk to folks and you say, what kind of community is this? And then when you find a place where you feel like you would be comfortable, you make your choice, you make your land purchase, you put down your roots, you bring your family, and you create the community. Because we are the community. And we have to remember that. We create the community. We don't have to keep looking outside of ourselves and what other folks gonna do, because it don't, we attract what we want to create in our lives, in our world. And so we have had an exceptional experience every time we go to Wilkinson County. We expect to have an amazing, and like my husband, I gotta tell the story. So my husband was driving a U-Haul truck, right? And he was, I guess, a little sleepy. And so he was like weaving a little bit on his way back from Wilkinson County to my home. And the lady, the police officer or the sheriff department there, she was like, I'm trying to stop you. She's like, sir, you was in a high-speed chase with us. You didn't know we were trying to stop you for like 3 miles.
Wow.
And he was like, yo, this could have went real wrong in a lot of other places, right? But when he finally stopped and seen that, oh, it's some cops. It was like 3 cops behind him. He stopped. He talked to the lady. The lady was like, yeah, we was just in a high-speed chase with you. Did you not notice? And he was like, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just trying to go home with my family. And she's like, well, we're going to have to write you a ticket. She calls the sheriff. The sheriff's like, yeah, you don't got to give them all those tickets. Just give them 1 ticket, send them home. And like, that's the kind of community that we are coming to. And you can find those kinds of communities. Like, all cops ain't bad cops. All places ain't bad places. Like, you have to do your due diligence. You have to really figure out how can we create intentionally through civic engagement. Because if you don't like something in the community, change it. Go vote. Go run for office. Like, we have more power. We got to stop giving our power away to everybody else.
Ooh, I love when you said that. And stop being scared. I'm like, all the stuff our ancestors went through, and it's still Black people afraid to speak and talk. They used to get lynched and burnt up and just treated horribly, raped, and there's so many people that
we still here, smiling.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yes, and they choose the coon. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Now I want to know, girls, what's the timeline for this? Like, what can we be looking forward to? Is this gonna be like we gotta wait another 10 years? Is it moving faster than you thought? Or tell us where we are in this process.
It is moving way faster than we thought. We had a timeline of 5 to 10 years because initially this was for the 19 families and we were funding it ourselves so that we were going at our pace. Once it went viral and everyone heard about it, we had so many resources come to us. We acquired more land. Now our timeline has been pushed up from like 2 to 5 years. We'll be breaking ground come spring.
Wow.
We'll start renovating a house that we have on one of the properties come spring. So it's a lot of things that we are doing that's very fast paced, and you guys will get to see it all.
Oh, that's so amazing. Has any of those celebrities actually done more than posts? Have any of them reached out to you and wanted to help so far?
In their own ways, yes.
That's all I'm gonna wait. That's all I'm gonna get. No, I get it. In their own ways. I just want to know, like, you know, Black people always say they want something for themselves, but like even this live, I feel like we should have a lot more people. I just feel like, you know, we always say we want it, but you know, do we really try to help each other? I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna make sure I donate the $9 a month. And before we go and everything, I want to make sure y'all get out all the information you need to get out, all the ways we can help get it out. Is there anything else that you guys need to say about the project or anything that's going on in the world right now you want to express?
Oh, yeah. So first thing I want to say is we are almost, we set a goal of raising $88,000 for a GoFundMe, just so that we could like build pavilions and get like gravel on the ground, stuff to make it more hospitable. And so we're almost at our goal. So if you have not given already, please, if you can, visit www.gofundme.com and look for Building a Thriving Black Safe Haven. And that is us, building a thriving Black safe haven. And go ahead and make a donation to help us reach our goal, because we are very close to it. I would also say to visit us and get on our newsletter. Visit www.freedomgeorgia.com, because that's the best way to find out about events, whether or not this docu-series that everybody's talking about is happening and when it will happen. All of the information you want to know is going to happen by being on the newsletter. And then finally, I would just say, please become a member of the Black Achievement Fund at www.bafsolutions. Again, www.baf.solutions. And we're having a gala. We are raising money because to build a community intentionally is not inexpensive. It's quite pricey. And so we've been asking people to give, and we're not just asking people to give, we've been wanting to do stuff that could be a way of making it worth your while, right? So we're having our Legacy Gala on New Year's Eve. Purchase a stream at legacygala2020.eventbrite.com. That's legacygala2020.eventbrite.com. If you're in Atlanta and you want to party, it's a very super duper exclusive party because we're in the middle of a pandemic, y'all. But if you do want to come, we have some tickets available. This is a charity event, so visit the website. It's $500 per person, but it's open bar, live band, a silent auction. We have a very special keynote speaker that's going to blow y'all all away. Our very own, Atlanta's very own Grits and Jelly Butter is the band. It's going to be rocking. Nice. It's going to be a great night. We have our local celebrities that will be there. We're going to have a really great night. We're going to have some special celebrities and guests popping onto the stream to wish you all a happy New Year's. It's going to be dope. So please go get your streams at legacygala2020.eventbrite.com. And if there's anything you guys want to know, hit us up in our DMs. We try to get back to y'all. Give us some grace if we can't get back to all of y'all in the same 24 hours. Because y'all Black, yeah, I love y'all, but y'all be wanting us to be stop the presses. We need to talk to Ashley Renee. Like, we not building a whole town. Like, we don't got whole families. Give us some grace. We gonna get back to y'all, I promise. But DM us, or you can shoot us an email. We are available. Just hit us up on the contact pages and in the DMs. All right.
Well, look, two things I got to ask you before we go, because I want to make sure I get this in, because I try to talk about it anytime I can. Do you guys consider yourselves part of the ADOS movement?
I do. I know I'm straight ADOS out here in these streets.
Okay.
I got my papers. I'm ready.
American descendants of slaves. We're trying to get our reparations, which we much deserve for the people who don't know about the American descendants of slaves.
And let's keep it real. Not only do we need reparations from America, the UK owe us some money too.
Yeah.
Everybody need to pay. So we need to really just be looking at a global reparations scheme, because we out here and it's time for us to get what we're owed, because everybody else got them but us. That's a slap in our face, as if we don't know the history of America. And what Erica say, everybody know the history. You know who you are.
Hey.
We know who we are. Okay.
Look, okay, so Renee, look, I gotta get you to talk one more time. Now,
Listen,
look,
this one right here be campaigning. She is the talker.
no,
This
I
is gonna be
love
our
it.
future
I love
president.
it. I gotta get y'all both in here though. The last question I got for you: what is one of the biggest things you both learned from this process?
Whew. Honestly, that it's always gonna, no matter how much you try to change the world, all the good you do, it's always gonna be somebody that don't like what you're doing.
Mm.
And you just have to keep going forward. You can't let that stop you. You just have to keep moving forward. It's always gonna be a man to try to stop your works that don't feel like that you're capable of leading because you're a woman. You just have to bypass all of that and keep doing you. That would be the biggest thing that I've learned personally throughout this whole thing that we've been going through since June. That would be it.
That's perfect. And my closing remarks would be, you know, there will be days that you may doubt yourselves or just feel like it's so hard and challenging. But when if you ever have that moment, I want you to know that it's some people behind you. We may not be able to call, you may not be able to be in your DM, but it's always some people, like you said, that are like-minded, like you, even if you can't hear from them somewhere in the world, that is hoping that you're gonna continue and that you're gonna see it through. Because a lot of times people give up on their dreams and goals because it's taking too long, or because other people come in and put doubt into their mind. But I want you two sisters to know, and that brother to know, and all your supporters, your husbands, y'all keep going. This is what our ancestors really dreamed of. This is what, hell, my mother dreamed of. My cousins, I mean, we've had so many conversations growing up, wanting to do something like this and just never coming back to the conversation to actually get it done. So please don't give up. We're so proud of you guys, and I just want to express that, because sometimes you have those moments where you just like, I don't know about this, but don't y'all doubt yourselves.
And
We
don't
love
stop
y'all.
having the conversation, because we did not. We had this conversation years ago and we never stopped having it. And don't feel like you can't do it for yourselves, because we don't have a lot of money. We regular everyday people just like y'all that just put ourselves together with our friends that we know want the same thing that we want. It's not that we had to pull our friends from kindergarten. I've known her for 6 years. A lot of people in the collective didn't even know each other, but we all had one common goal, which was generational wealth. So I want everybody to feel like y'all can go out and do it for yourselves. Like, just let us be the model, let us be the inspiration, but know that you can do it too.
Yes, you can.
Thank you, ladies, so much. We'll end it here. Make sure you send me all those websites when I edit this episode. I'll make sure to put some of those links in the comments or whatnot, so people can definitely know where to go. And again, we tip our hats off to you, and God bless you, and we love y'all.
Thank you so
We
much
love
for
you.
having us.
Thank you so much. We love y'all. Peace. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sis. We'll see y'all next time.